Hello again, this is Moorhead Media, and today we're going to be doing a little digital painting exercise, just like a super basic overview of how I would digitally paint this sun character. And so we're going to start with a couple things. First of all, we're wanting to get back to our brush tool, just our standard brush tool. And I want to set this up so that I have a nice access so I can see really what I'm doing consistently. So I'm actually going to move out my layer dock here, and I'm going to name this Sun God Flat 1. I'm going to copy that because what I actually want to do is create a new folder just for this character. So this is going to be the Sun God folder. And I'm going to move this into that layer. And again, it's really handy to collapse the layers you're not working on. So I actually would like to select out this sun god artwork as well, and cut the line art and move it into this folder. And I'm not going to do that in this tutorial. So if the next time you see all of a sudden there's a line art in this folder, don't worry about it. It's just because I did the same thing as before. I'll probably just draw a selection with the lasso tool and then move it into this folder. So what I want to do now is I'm going to create a new layer again, and I'm going to do Sun God Flat 1. I'm going to copy and paste. I'm going to say Sun God Shadow Layer, and then I'm going to make another one called Sun God Highlight Layer, and another one called Sun God Details. And these are my own sort of naming protocols. I'm going to move those below the shadow and the highlight layer. And it's nice to have the highlights on the very top, because then you can even do bounce light and stuff, and so you can put highlights on top of shadows, which is really an exceptional thing. And shadows are going to be above, obviously, this base color, so that they'll show up, as well as the details. So the details, what I want to do a few things. First of all, I'm going to hit D on the keyboard. It's going to switch my colors to black and white. I'm going to hit X to select the white. And on my details layer, I'm actually going to lock all for my flats. I don't want to mess with that. It's perfect the way it is. And details, I'm going to start painting in the white. Now I don't want it to change the opacity, so I'm going to uncheck the opacity pressure sensitivity tab right here. I just want to paint white, but I want to be able to get really specific with it. So I left this other one, which is about the size, pressure sensitivity indicating its size. So I'm just painting in pure white into the eyes. And there might be some other details. Yeah, like I probably want to do the teeth here and make those white as well. And then maybe what I'll do is other details might be, let's just say the iris of the eyes. I want that same color green as I had down here for my, so I'll come down to my knot, hit I to select just a normal selection tool, please. Wow, there's a lot of tools in the eyedropper that I don't even know what they are. So I'm just going to select that green color, come back in, and I could just paint directly on the details layer. I could just go over this, but I actually prefer, anytime I'm sort of stacking things, I like to add a new layer. So I have tons of layers, but this helps if I ever want to edit, just like change the color of his eyes and not change the white area. So I'm going to create a new layer, and I'm going to actually name it Sun God Details 2. So copy, paste, double click the layer, the word layer, so that the 2 stays in place. There we go. Click, and now you can just paint in his eyes, right? And it's just easier this way, because then if I ever want to change his eye color, which I can tell I already do, and I hit eraser to get rid of that little edge, then I can do that. Like I can just, edit that one color. Okay, so good. So now shadows. All right, for the shadows, I'm going to select this as the base color, and I'm going to hit B for brush. And I'm going to do a couple things here. I'm going to change the settings. I'm going to make sure transfer opacity jitter is set to pen pressure. So I want to be able to now, when I push hard, it's going to draw like harder. It's going to draw more opaquely. And I'm also going to check this. And I'm also going to turn down the opacity. So there's a lot of different ways to color an image. One of the ways is, first of all, I'm going to change this layer to multiply. So as soon as I start painting, you're going to see it's going to start looking like a darker version of this color. And that's a really nice way to just add shadow. I'm essentially painting with the exact same color, and I really don't like this brush I'm using. It's just super unintuitive. Doesn't look good either. So I'm going to mess with the brushes a little bit. I'm going to go to brush, and I'm going to select something that I like from this group brush pack, which is an enormous pack called Happenstance. And you see it has all this texture to it. And that's going to be sort of, I'm going to try to mess around with that. I think I went too far back. Yes, I did. So right now this is an extremely dark brush. We don't really want that. It's too dark. It's because of the way it's set. So I want to turn on the opacity and the size dimension of it. And I'm going to shape, I'm going to do texture, transfer, pen pressure. That's good. Okay, how's that working? Is that working? Doesn't seem to be wanting to. Oh, because I'm on eraser tool. Sorry about that. Okay, there we go. So it's coming back. All right, so I just changed the eraser settings. So that happens sometimes when you switch between tools. You kind of forget where you're at. I'm going to lower the opacity quite a bit because this is a really intense brush. And I'm right now I'm just kind of playing around, you know, figuring out, okay, where are the shadows, right? Underneath certain places. And I'm just having fun with this. I'm not really thinking too much about it. I'm just kind of working my way over it. I might scale up the brush when I want to mess with a particular area, you know, scale it down sometimes. So this is sort of a rule of thumb. If it's getting out of hand and your brush is really getting wild, then you might want to try a different brush. I think I chose one that's like really difficult to control. So let's just go back to our brush panel, and I'm actually going to choose one that's a little more forgiving. I'm going to choose let's do a charcoal brush. Let's see how that feels. Turn on the size and dimensions, pen pressure good, shape dynamics. Let's do a little more size here. Okay, that should work. Let's try that. How's that working? I just wanted to get that texture so I could show you how I think. Okay, good. That's a lot easier to control. So now you can see I'm just kind of, you know, going over these areas that I feel like they should be in shadow to some degree, kind of sticking to these corners, sticking to the undersides of things, and just overall just trying to give it a feeling of depth, trying to give it a feeling of dimensionality. And there's no real right or wrong way to do this other than I'm just feeling out the spaces, like what shape is this, you know, what angles are there. Maybe I want it to be darker on the inside of the eye, on the edge of this, you know, piece, you know, underneath here. So these are just things to think about when you're drawing. And you see that thing that just popped up? That's because my tablet pen has a setting on one of the buttons to bring up the brush menu. So that might happen every once in a while. But yeah, I'm just finding interesting shapes. I'm okay. Like, here we go. This is kind of a cool shape here. Mirror that on the other side. I'm trying to keep it symmetrical. That's one of the more, I think, the more difficult challenges in this process is that it's trying to be symmetrical with it. So yeah, so you get the feeling that I'm adding some tone, I'm adding some shadow here. And so that looks okay. You know, that's not the best, but it's looking okay. Like it's starting to flesh out. And you could spend many hours working like this. But what I want to do now is I want to make sure that I'm sort of not getting too stuck in my own thinking. And I like this texture thing that's going on, but like the shadows they're okay. They're not really like the best shadows. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to reduce the opacity a little bit. You can see it fades out. Just clean up his nose. It's a little strange looking. And I'm going to jump into my highlight mode right away. And I'm going to set this to screen. There's different things you can set it here. Lighten and screen are similar. And I'm going to start using the same brush, but I'm going to again, reduce the opacity. I'm gonna start hitting some of these spots that I think, you know, the highlights might find their way at the top of some of these edges, assuming the sun is coming from the top. This is a very subjective question because obviously there is no, this is a very flat image, so there may not even be a light source. We're just sort of arbitrarily choosing one, saying it's at the top, coming from above. So yeah, so I'm just hitting it. I'm hitting some of these spots, some of these highlights, and I'm just kind of feeling out like where, you know, maybe going over one a little more to give it a punch, like on the nose, on this mustache. And I'm also thinking like, this is not a realistic face. This is like a statue of a cartoon of a face, right? So it's like 3 steps removed from reality. So you don't have to be so realistic with it. It's just getting the feel for it, right? Getting the feel that it has some dimensionality, and that looks okay. You know, that's not too bad. I didn't mean to zoom in that far. Oh, I see what it's doing. It's dragging pixels. Okay, forget that. I'm going to grab a new color, and I want to hit the highlights of these eyes. So I might actually choose the green, and I'm going to go up with that. Get back here, small, make my brush smaller, and I'm going to punch in those highlights, and I might actually put in a little, you know, on the inside of the eye, on the iris, to kind of show that it's wet, or show that there's like there's something going on here. There's some life to this person. Usually eyes that have no highlights at all, or no wetness, kind of look dead and weird. So you usually want to add highlights. Yeah, so basically, I mean, this is a really good technique. This is a really good way to establish highlights and tone and stuff. And so I encourage you guys to try this on your own. Try this with a tablet. Try this with your mouse if you have the guts to do that. And yeah, so that's it for this tutorial.